Hi, my name's Kerry. Welcome to Public Transport and Car Tax, and also welcome to Sydney. In fact, welcome to Sydney Airport. Now I'm here at the Jetstar terminal, and my destination today is Nimbin. When I first started planning this trip, I looked into taking the train up to Casino, change at the Casino, then getting a bus out to Lismore, and then catching a local bus through to Nimbin. But the problem was, I'd get to Lismore about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd have about 4.5 hour wait for the first bus to head out to Nimbin. So I thought, that's no good. So then I looked in for another Premier motor coach service. They have a bus that leaves Sydney at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. That gets to Lismore around about 6 or 7 in the morning, and I could change for a bus that leaves about 7:30 out to Nimbin. But sitting up on a bus all night, that's really not much fun. So I looked into flying. So I've got a ticket, $47, and it's going to take me from Sydney Airport through to the Ballina Gateway. Then at Ballina Airport, I found there's a local bus which will take me into town, into Ballina. Then at Ballina, there's another bus which will take me through to Lismore, and then from Lismore, I can catch another bus through to Nimbin. Anyway, I'll get going. I better get over and check in and get down to the departure lounge. Okay, see you in a while. Well, that was a good flight. Now, when you reach the arrivals lounge here in Ballina-Byron Gateway, just head towards the exit. And the first thing you're going to see is a notice board. And we don't want shuttle buses or rideshare, we want a public bus. Now, to get to the public bus stop, just walk across the pedestrian crossing and through the parking lot. Getting towards the end of the pedestrian crossing and then the extremity of the car park, you'll see another sign over there with public bus written on it. Now the service from Ballina Airport here to where we're going, which is in at Tamar Street in Ballina, well the bus service runs from here every 1.5 hours. That'll take you into Ballina, and then from Ballina we're going to catch another bus through to Lismore. And then from Lismore, we're going to catch another bus through to Nimbin. Now, if you've got a seniors card, the fare will cost you $2.50. You can get a red ticket, and you can use that red ticket to transfer from bus to bus. Because, as I say, you're going to catch 3 buses. Now, I've listed all the bus companies and I've listed an example of the timetable in the description below. Now, today the bus number we want is bus number 640 and it's run by a company called CDC. 640 Ballina-Byron Bay. This is the one we want. Well, welcome to Ballina. Welcome to the main bus station here in Ballina at Tamar Street in Ballina. Now if you see just behind me there's toilets, and of course just through the parking lot you'll see the Wigmore Arcade. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you over there to the Wigmore Arcade. We'll walk through the arcade and that'll take us onto the main street in Ballina called River Street. Then we'll walk through another arcade out to the Richmond River. Now we'll have a look at the Richmond River, then we'll come back here and catch our bus to Nimbin. Okay, that was coffee shop number 1. Here at the end of the arcade, there's coffee shop number 2, called Swish. Now here we are on River Street in Ballina, and just to the left, there's a pedestrian crossing. We'll head over there, the other side of the street, to the next arcade. And of course we crossed the street and we found another cafe. It's called the Green Coast. We arrived at the Richmond River. Now if you want to stop somewhere for lunch, this is a great restaurant overlooking the Richmond River. Now as I was walking through the arcade, I just looked to my right and I saw a shop and it had a rack out of clothes, specials. And I thought, oh, I'll duck in and have a look. This is why I've got my new t-shirt on. Anyway, I looked at the specials and I found a t-shirt, a really nice t-shirt, for just $3. As you can see, I've still got the tag here. And that's the deal. Anyway, what do you think of my new t-shirt? And of course there's a new hat which I got in Manly the other day. Now, who remembers back in the 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, when you'd go in to buy a t-shirt and it'd be $5 and it'd be imported from somewhere or probably made in Australia, because the cost to import stuff then was very expensive. And you'd pay about $5 Australian for a t-shirt, and this is when the Australian dollar was worth more than the American dollar. So you're paying a fortune for a t-shirt. And then all of a sudden, in the late 80s, they changed the rules and they got rid of tariffs and they brought in free trade. And all of a sudden, the price of t-shirts and clothing dropped to nearly nothing. Now, I paid, as I said before, I paid $3 for this t-shirt. Now, and it was made in Bangladesh. Now, how do they make something in Bangladesh, put it on a ship, send it over here, then take it off the ship, put it in a shop, all the distribution and all the work, how do they sell it for $3? And the value of the Australian dollar, well, the Australian dollar's down to nothing now. Well, 62 cents. So, how do they do it? I don't know. Well, I was just talking to some people back there. I nearly forgot about the time, so I better get down to the bus stop. I've only got 10 minutes before the bus leaves. Of course, here's a quick glimpse of Ballina. Okay, here we are back at Tamar Street and Ballina bus stop. Okay, here's our bus now. 661 to Lismore by Ballina Buslines. Now here we are in the centre of Lismore, at the Lismore Transit Centre. This is where we get off to catch the bus to Nimbin.
Have a great afternoon.
Thanks very much for the ride.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to Lismore. I'm catching bus route number 650 from the Lismore Transit Centre to Nimbin, and it leaves here at 2:35 or 14:35. Now that gives me, I've got 35 minutes to have a quick look around Lismore and better get going. Now I'd like to stop here for a cup of coffee, but I really haven't got time. But I can suggest a good place to stop if you're passing through Lismore, and that's the Lismore Pie Cart. Straight across the road from the transit centre, and I've had a pie and a cup of coffee here a few times, and it's well worth a visit. I first come to Lismore back in the mid-70s, and this pie cart was here with the same Austin truck, but it was across the other side of the street. But through all the floods and all the years, and the truck sitting out in the rain in damp, humid conditions, it's still in absolute perfect condition. It's certainly an institution for Lismore. Now we haven't got a lot of time here, 30 minutes now. I'll give you a quick look around Lismore. Now, when I first came, I've always liked Lismore. It's in a very green valley. There's some really beautiful old wooden homes here. It's always been an interesting place for me. The unfortunate thing about it, being in this beautiful green valley, is subjected to floods. Now, 2 or 3 years ago, they had the worst flood I think they've ever had here. It was just devastating. And I was talking to the bus driver, and he tells me that even though a few years have passed, he lost his home, insurance didn't pay out for floods, and he's still traumatised by it. He told me that there's a plan to buy back a lot of the homes around here and move them somewhere else, move them to higher ground, so to get rid of the flood problem. I think, so is that really going to work? I like Lismore, but I imagine if I was born here, grew up here, there'd be nowhere else in the world I could move to. Lismore's home. So there must be a lot of people think like that. So, but how do you move all these people out? That's the big question. I'll just move back in again anyway. It sort of reminds me of over in the United States, down around the Miami coast, down around that panhandle and along the Texas coastline. There's all houses built along there. And every few years a hurricane comes and completely wipes out every house. I mean, it's a totally clean slate. And they just go back in and build them all again. Here in Lismore, if a flood comes, okay, the house gets covered in water, goes right over the roof, and the roof comes up and there's a lot of problems. But at least you've still got a house. Okay, you can clean it up and fix up the walls. But at least you've still got something to start with. In Texas and Miami, they got nothing to start with. They end up with just a vacant block of land. Anyway, I'd love to hear your comments about it. I could be right, I could be wrong. But I'd love to hear your comments. Please drop them in the comments box below. Yes, we all love a bakery. And there's one of my favourites. It's been a few years since I've been in there. Another bakery. Okay, there's a few vacant shops around, but only a few. It just amazes me how quickly this town can recover. It's our Nimbin bus now. 6:50 to Nimbin. at the Nimbin Hemp Embassy. Now, about the only drugs I do is the drugs the doctor gives me for my high blood pressure. I tried marijuana, but I didn't inhale. So, I don't do drugs. Here's to the Nimbin pub. Cheers. Look at those beautiful mushrooms. They're absolutely beautiful.
Go, that's 12, thank you. Yeah, what is that? Yeah. Is it your friend? Thank you.
Delicious. I've fallen in love with Nimbin. I'll be back here as soon as possible. I might come and stay for a week. Anyway, I'm going to head back now. I'm heading back to Ballina. So thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe. And then you'll know when I get another video out. Okay, thanks again. See ya. Bye.